How you doing? I'm your host, Donald Hardaway, and this is the Life Podcast. Now, it's been a while since we had an update about what's going on with the health here. So, title of this video was 225 the epic fail because we failed epically. Let's just start there. All right. A little bit of background. How did we get here? Some time ago, I was diagnosed with prediabetes. With prediabetes, and I did not want to get on medication. Okay. At the time, I weighed about 250 pounds, 5'11", weighed about 250 pounds, and was given the same window that everybody else is getting. A little 90-day window. You work on your diet, exercise, come back, do your blood work again, see where you at, and if your A1C levels are still high, the medication is absolutely in your future, for sure. Now, and that was my case, right? So my A1C levels back then was about 7.1, 7.2, give or take. It's hard to say, right? So they prescribed medication. I was not excited about that. However, you still have to, regulate your blood sugars, okay? I've kind of always worked out, so to speak. So language was that because something had been done historically is not as bad as it could have been. What prompted all this really was a scare from a close family member of mine. He was down so bad, like his A1C level was like a 12. We've been doing this together actually. So he got his numbers down in the sixes. You know what I mean? Like 6.9 or something like that. He's been diligent, focusing on his diet, in the gym, right? But we'll talk about that. So anyway, that's what prompted it when I got my blood work done, and boom, pre-diabetic. Don't take a lot of medications. Didn't want to be in this space where I was older, a middle-aged working guy with a business, as y'all understand. So I don't want to spend my time having to take medications every day and all this other stuff. I just don't want to be in that space, all right? So what I said I'd do was, I'm going to lose some weight. That's my answer to this problem. I'm going to lose some weight, and that'll get me off the medication. So I got started, all right? I started with the food first, right? Because that's really where everything really originates from. If you want real health, you got to pay attention to your central nervous system, and the best way to affect your central nervous system or your metabolism is through your digestive system, okay? Main reason why everything if it's not intravenous, it's in a pill, because your body will disperse it through your digestive system the most appropriately. Also, food and energy, digested and dispersed through your digestive system, right? Fat is energy that you did not use that is just being stored. When you use it, it'll be there. But because we're a sedentary society, not so much is being used. Anyway, back to the point. Taking food more serious. So I cook more often. Number one, I cook more often. And I stopped eating foods that were not grown or raised. Okay. Cut out the soda, cut out the juice, cut out the sugars. All right. Went real light on the pasta and the rices, because carbs turn into sugars, and you want to regulate your blood sugar level. So you got to pay attention to that. Start eating wheat-based processes, so that cut out the sugar, slow down the sugar transformation situation. Absolutely had to cut down alcohol intake. That was a major part of it. Empty carbs, and it just didn't look good. And on top of that, behaviors, right? So when you drink too much, when you start drinking, you start eating too much, and you're eating anything. So I didn't want to do that either. Not to say that I'll stop drinking, but significantly reduced it. Now, in February, I was 250 pounds. My waist measurement was at 44. At 44. Went on a 16-week cycle. that included more physical activity, i.e. the gym and my secret weapon, walking. Walking, steps, secret fat burner, right? So I began the journey of instead of me listening to what my body wanted, I began to train my body to tell it what to do, right? So this is a paradigm shift. So it's physical, yes, but it's also a paradigm shift where you are actively sending signals to your body to get it to operate efficiently so that you can have the maximum impact from it. So that's what I wanted to do. Okay. Definitely drank more water. Got my steps in. Gym 3 times a week, Sunday, Tuesdays, Thursdays. I want to talk about this walking a little bit for a little while. Okay. The reason why walking steps is a natural fat burner, just in general. Okay. Keeps your metabolism going. If you walk sometimes after you eat, your body becomes accustomed to saying, oh, we need energy to do a thing. So instead of creating fat, i.e. storing energy, it will be prepared for you to be mobile. You see? Walking over time is way, 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 way more effective than cardio. Now, I'm no health professional. Okay, I am a serious hobbyist at best, right? A strength training enthusiast at most. All right, but I do my research. All right, so I'm giving you information that I've researched. It can be research. You can confirm or deny. If you have anything that you have a question about or anything what I said, of course, leave it in the comments and I'll get to it. We can always discuss any of this. All right, so back to walking. Back to getting your steps in. One, most people don't know how to run. Let's just start there, okay? Unless you've been an athlete of some kind, particularly in track or long distance running, you really don't know how to run. And most people will likely be injured from running inappropriately. So let's just start there, okay? As a society, you don't have much opportunity to run unless you're already active. But, for the person that's working and going to school or is undereducated and working 2 jobs that are underpaying, you're not running, all right? You got a household full of kids, you're not running. You're moving, but you're not running. So walking is a natural process. You're very, very not likely to be injured. Okay, so let's start there. It builds functional muscle. Okay? Your body is moving. Your body is using the energy from the food to do a thing in your metabolism and your central nervous system. So, you're building muscle in the process, particularly if you're paying attention to your protein, if you're consuming proteins. So you got less prone to injury, you got muscle building, right? You got a consistent slow burn on fat. So in some instances, fat may not even be, you may either be burning fat or fat is not even being created because you're using it as you build it, okay? 4, insulin sensitivity. So from a diabetic standpoint, type 1 diabetes, insulin dependent, okay? Your body is not able to produce insulin, so you can't get the benefits from insulin at all because you can't produce it, all right? Your body has a difficult time processing the little bit of insulin that you can produce if you can produce any at all, right? So your blood sugar levels are constantly out of whack. Type 2 diabetes is more connected to a lifestyle kind of a thing. So you are doing things that makes it very difficult for your body to absorb insulin. Fat does not absorb insulin very well. So by building muscle is very insulin sensitive. It's insulin sensitive. Okay. So by default, your blood sugar levels will lower. Your A1C levels will come down because your body is now using insulin because you have muscle for it. You know, muscle is a vehicle, if you will, for dispensing insulin throughout your body. So now you have that. Walking produces all of those things. I am by no stretch of the imagination saying that walking, getting your steps in is a cure for diabetes. I do not have that kind of medical expertise. I'm not certified in any shape, form, or fashion to have the ability to do that. So don't take what I'm saying as that, because that is absolutely not what I'm saying. I'm saying that as a result of walking, you build muscle, and muscle is absolutely, the more dense the muscle is, the more insulin sensitive it is. Insulin sensitivity reduces blood sugar levels, is my point. Okay. So it's pretty much a straight line. So that's the walking part. Gym. If people exercise, you know, unless you are some skilled athlete, you are general public, right? I'm general public, right? You're exercising one or two ways for the most part, right? Split sets or whole body. You know, if you're in that bodybuilding space, you're probably doing split sets. Science will say that is recommended for John Q. Public to go full body. So let me give you an example of what a split set would be. Your regular push-pull method, all right? You go to the gym, you do arms one day, you do chest the same day, push and pull, all right? You do squats, you do back, push and pull, and that's your workout for the day. Going 2-3 times, a week. You know, it'll be a good week and a half, maybe 2 weeks before you get back to doing your first push pull. That's given that you don't miss any days, and life is life, and so odds are you're gonna miss some days, just in general. All right. Full body. You're hitting every area of the body, at least one area somehow for some sets. Okay. An example being, so you're doing arms for a set, and the arms you're either doing your triceps or your biceps, right? That's one day. You're doing shoulders, you're doing your sides, your front, your rears, your presses. You're doing something. You're doing your legs, so it's quads, it's hams, it's squats, it's calves. You're doing something. And then, of course, there's your abs, right? You're doing something. And then there's your back, your upper back, middle back, lower back. You're doing something that day in your set, and you're doing this whatever your schedule is. Okay, so whenever you go, you're hitting all the parts, and then you're going on. The reason why I prefer this method is because this is about longevity. I'm not to say that it's okay if you miss a day, not to say if it's not okay if you miss a day, but you're working every part of the body every time. So, you know, if I miss a day, I've done something. So it's not like I miss leg day, so now I got to wait another week or two or a week and a half before leg day come back around. You see what I'm saying? Because every time I go, I'm doing some part of the legs. So that's my process. For me, that works fantastically. Okay. So an example I'll give in this space, if before I went to the gym, my blood sugar levels were around, let's say 130. All right. By the time I left the gym, it was down to like 110, probably 99, give or take. All right. Insulin sensitivity. Okay. That's proof of insulin sensitivity. Did the same thing that the medication would do, just in the hour or an hour and a half or so I was at the gym with no medication. Simple. And I prefer it to be that way. You still got to keep an eye on your blood sugar levels for sure. But just know that when you go into the gym, your blood sugar levels are going to drop. All right? Just know that going into it. So I am in the second cycle right now. My first cycle was 16 weeks. Again, started at 250. Waist was a 44. A1C levels where I think somewhere in the lower, in the high, 6.8, maybe 7.1, give or take. Just went to the doctor about a week or two ago. It's the end of the 16-week. It's the end of the 16-week cycle. A1C levels down to 6.1. So I go to the low sevens to the low sixes. I'm this close to that normal range of 5.2 to 5.7 or 5.9, whatever the case is. I'm very, very close to that space. So I'm thinking after this cycle, I may very well be there. Point is, I'm not using, I am in no need of medication for prediabetes at this point. That's my point. So that's one benefit of the 16-week cycle. For me, it took 16 weeks. Can't say what it's going to take for anybody else. So don't say in 16 weeks, if I do what he did, my A1C levels are going to, don't say that. Everybody's situation is different, okay? You may not pay as much attention to your diet as I did. Your job you may not be able to get your at least 10,000 steps in every day like I do. All right. Monday through Friday, definitely, I'm going to tell you the truth, probably at least 12 Monday through Friday. On the weekends, I'm about 8,000 steps, give or take. So, what happens at the end of the 16-week cycle? This is the question. All right. So you would think that I'm paying more attention to my food. I'm eating more consistently. I'm getting my steps in. I am weight training consistently, at least 3 times most of the weeks, at least 2. There's not been a week where I only went once, like not ever, right? You would say, oh man, you sound like you should be, okay, who's going to lose 25 pounds in 16 weeks? That is a lot. That's 4 months, okay? That's like 4 or 5 pounds a month. Well, if you do the math on that, you can lose a pound a week and be pretty good. So you could lose 4 pounds in a month, and in 4 months, so that's about 16 pounds, give or take, right? So 16 weeks, pound a month, 4 pounds a month for 16 pounds. So had I done that, I would have went from 150 to 236, 234. Would have been 234. All right. You think that even happened? No, not at all. In fact, the opposite happened. Excuse me. In fact, the opposite happened. In the 16 weeks, A1C levels down. Beautiful deal. In the 16 weeks, waist down 2 inches. So I went from a 44 to a 42. I'm ecstatic. Yeah? I feel more in control of my body. Absolutely. I absolutely feel more agile, more mobile. I get more done because I move more. What's the downside, you say? Unfortunately, I am now 255 pounds. So 225, epic fail. I've in fact moved in the opposite direction. But you say, oh no, muscle is heavier than fat, but au contraire, mon frère. Muscle is more dense than fat. Okay, yes, I've absolutely lost fat by evidence of being 2 inches down in my waist. But muscle is more dense than fat. Fat is about volume. Muscle is about density. Okay? So yes, because I've been strength training, my muscles have gotten more dense for sure. And I'm not mad at that, actually. I'm very not mad at that. For me, it is proof that I'm moving in the right direction. Okay? This is progress, not perfection. All right? I am not in a maintenance phase at all. I am still in the process of getting to a space where I can be in shape. I'm not in shape yet. I'm on the way to being in shape. So this next cycle, the cycle that I'm currently in, that I will keep you updated on, this 12-week cycle will see minimal weight usage, right? So I'm likely only going to be using weights in a very minimalistic way. All right. I.e., for weights that I can't do with body weights. So we're talking shoulder presses, maybe use them as sumo squats, maybe use them in some ab exercises, possibly. But for the most part, this next 12 weeks is all body weight. So we're talking pull-ups, chin-ups, squats, push-ups, dips, and the like. All right. Working on getting my dragon flag together. Right now, I suck. But I'm going through the progressions to get where I need to be to get that thing nice and rigid. I'm working on it. Who knows? I might be there by the end of the 12 weeks. Who knows? Who knows? But I will tell you that 255 in pull-ups and chin-ups are not complimentary. Let's just say that. They're very much not complimentary. But I'm not going to quit. Okay? I'm very much not going to quit. I am doing weekly body 360 videos so I can track my progress week by week. So I'll be sharing some of those videos. So I make sure I have a great. So the picture you're seeing, the thumbnail was week 1 of 16, week 16 of 16. That's the first cycle. The second cycle will be a 12-week cycle. So I'm going to put up a week 1 picture, and then we're going to do a week 12 picture. No, we're going to do a week 6 picture and then a week 12 picture. And we'll just compare them. That's all. Part of sharing the journey. All right. Listen, if you found this content helpful, please like, share, subscribe. All right. Like, share, subscribe. Till next time. Respectfully.